up your YouTube, search for Stukeley Meadows, watch on your big screen.
Or another device if you're at home.
Get yourself comfy, this could take a while. What a happy scene. Something new every day for your long-term memory. This is so exciting, it is nearly time for a Stukeley assembly. Good morning or good afternoon everyone, and welcome to Wednesday's reading assembly. For each other we, every day we, to improve we, together we will. Every single Stukeley day we focus on. Our Stukeley motto is, our Stukeley curriculum is, our Stukeley plan for home learning is, 4 words that make the magic happen. Yes, they do. Right, I'm speeding along because there's lots to get in. We haven't got many reading assemblies left, and we need to crack on with Great Expectations. However, I still keep getting WhatsApps, I still keep getting letters. Somebody phoned me the other day and said, we love the little bit of author retrieval that you do at the start. So do you know what? I've made it even better. Today, right now, I'm going to give you the author's name. I'm going to tell you the author, and then one of the author's books is going to be here. You've got to use the letters to work out the author's book. Okay? Right, first one's dead easy, really easy. The author is Charles Dickens. What is the book? Oh, remember that when you see those letters, you can shout out your answer. In a sensible way, shout it out to the teacher. Go. Okay, next one. The author is Julia Donaldson. What is the book? Well done, those of you that got that one. Very good. Okay, the author is Eric Carle. What is the book? Top work, everyone. Okay, next one. The author is Roald Dahl. What's the book? Very good. Okay, next one. The author is Jane Austen. What is the book? I'll be very, very impressed if you get this one. Somebody's going to get it. Come on, somebody get it. Ah, well done. Well done if you got it. Okay, last one. The author is... Should we make it a tough one? Let's make it a tough one. Okay. The author is... Oh, this is not too hard. Cressida Cowell. What's the book? I think a lot of you got that one. Well done. There's the answer. Right, everyone. Good. Okay, so we've had a warm up. I've got the book. I'm going to do a very, very quick whiz through. It's called a whistle stop tour. So we started off with, oh, I need a picture of him, don't I? Pip lives with his sister and his uncle, goes out into the fields at Christmas, comes across a convict. The convict grabs him and says, help me. Pip's scared, runs away. There's the convict with him. Pip's scared, runs away, gets some stuff for the convict. The convict gets caught, Pip doesn't, but we know that convict, that bad guy, is going to come back to meet us. Pip lives with, like I said, his sister, who's horrible, and his uncle. They live in a blacksmith's cottage, I think. Joe's a blacksmith. There's the sister, Mrs. Joe. I mean, she's really not great, is she? Pip gets sent by his uncle, Pumblechook, up to Miss Havisham's house. There's something weird going on here. Pip keeps getting sent to go and play with this girl, Estella, and she's horrible to him, and he kind of likes her, kind of likes her, she doesn't like him. It's really strange. Anyway, Mrs. Havisham, I really don't like that picture. Mrs. Havisham, she was jilted at the altar. She was supposed to get married 30, 40 years ago. The person she was going to marry left her. She's still in a wedding dress. in a room that hasn't been dusted for years. It's got the wedding cake. It's just really strange. And there's Pip playing cards with Estella. Pip keeps going to visit. He really doesn't enjoy it, but he kind of does and he kind of doesn't. It's all very strange. Then he is in a pub. He's in a pub one night, and there's a strange man in the pub. I've lost a page. Actually, I've jumped ahead to the pub. I'm so sorry. Anyway, Pip wants to learn to read and write, so his friend Biddy teaches him. He should really be falling in love with Biddy, but he's not. He's still in love with Estella. Then one day, Joe goes to meet Miss Havisham. She says she wants Pip to become an apprentice and do work with Joe. Pip really does not sure. He wants something different. They meet this man in the pub. This man tells them that some money's been given to Pip to go and become a gentleman in London. He leaves. They're all really upset. And in London, Pip starts to become a gentleman. He gets incredibly embarrassed when Joe visits him. And Pip then, he doesn't want to be embarrassed, but he is. It's also he's kind of in turmoil. Anyway, we ended the book where Joe had come to speak to him and said that his sister wasn't very well and that Miss Havisham wanted to see Pip. Pip didn't really know what to do. Joe walked off and then Pip felt really awful, went to run after him and he'd gone. And there they are, both of them having some tea. Right, that wasn't very quick, was it? Let's crack on. The next day, although Pip felt awkward about his meeting with Joe, he followed Miss Havisham's instructions and took a coach back home. He thought about staying with Joe, but then decided that as a gentleman, he would take a room in an inn. Pip was sure that it was Miss Havisham who'd asked him to come back to marry Estella. After such a long time away, he really wanted to see her and show that he was now a true gentleman. When he arrived, he met Estella. "Is she not more beautiful than ever?" said Miss Havisham. "She is beautiful," said Pip. "And what about him?" she asked Estella. "Is he still the common boy you knew before?" Estella laughed. So there she is, Estella. Still very cold-faced and a bit mean. Estella laughed, but later, when she was alone with Pip, she spoke to him more softly. "You should know, Pip, that I have no heart. I have no warmth in me, no sympathy, no love." Pip was now even more confused than ever. When Pip came to say farewell to Miss Havisham, she dug her bony fingers into his arm. "Love her, love her, love her," she said. "I have made her what she is, so she'll break men's hearts. Just as my heart was broken, you must give your heart and soul to her." In a state of shock, Pip left the house as fast as he could. He was now very confused, and that night in the inn, he could not sleep and kept tossing and turning all night long. "But I do love her, but I do love her," he kept saying. So now Pip's poor head is all over the place. He knows that Miss Havisham's being mean to him. He knows that Miss Havisham wants him to fall in love with Estella. Estella's saying, "Don't do it, don't do it." But he can't help it. He just can't help it. Because his mind was so full of Estella, he completely forgot about his Uncle Joe and his sick wife. And he never went to see them while he was home. When he got on the first coach back to London, he did not know that he had missed the last chance to see his sister alive. This is a sad part of the story. We knew that his sister, Mrs. Joe, was ill, but he completely forgot about going to see her, got on the coach, and actually she's died. And he could have gone to see her, but he didn't, because his head is full of... He's selfish. He's being very selfish. Pip threw himself back into London life with energy and money. But the more money he spent, the more miserable he grew. One day, a letter arrived in the post with a black round seal, a bit like a sticker on it. It told Pip that Mrs. Joe had died and that his attendance was requested at the funeral the next Monday afternoon. So he was asked to go back for the funeral. Uncle Joe welcomed Pip back into his home with open arms and forgot all of that awkwardness they had before. They warmed themselves by the fire, and Pip felt the pride that had frosted his heart slowly melted away as Joe told him all about Mrs. Joe's illness, and then he asked Pip all about his life in London. Biddy was there too, and even though she knew that Pip would not fall in love with her, she welcomed him warmly as a friend. Pip started to feel a bit sad and a bit ashamed at how he treated his good friend Biddy and his Uncle Joe. But Biddy was wiser and cleverer than Pip, and she knew that although he felt sorry, London in Estella would soon be back in Pip's head. Since the last strange visit to Miss Havisham's house, Pip had started to think about where all of his money had come from. Do you remember he was told that money had been given to him to go to London now? He thought it was from Miss Havisham, but now he's wondering whether it was. He decided to visit Miss Havisham again. She had gotten older and looked more and more like a skeleton since the last time he saw her. Although more dust had layered in her house, the clock still stood at 20 minutes to 9, the time when she should have been married. Estella was still beautiful except for the coldness of her smile, and she sat next to Miss Havisham as per usual. "Miss Havisham," said Pip, "when you gave me to Joe as an apprentice, you had already been incredibly generous. I must ask you now, did you give me the money to go to London and for my great expectations?" "It was not I," said Miss Havisham. Pip's mind started racing. Who on earth had given him all this money to go and become a gentleman? If it was not Miss Havisham to get him ready for Estella, then who was it? Pip had no idea. He became brave. "Miss Havisham, because you had a broken heart, why did you try and get Estella to break mine? Why were you so unkind?" Miss Havisham put her hand on her heart, but it was Estella who spoke instead. "You ignored my warnings, Pip. I told you not to love me. I have only got ice where my heart should be. I cannot love anyone." Miss Havisham had sunk deeply into her chair. In a very frail voice, she said, "But Estella, you love me, don't you, child? I want you to love me." "You have made me who I am," said Estella. "You stole my heart and put ice in its place." She stood up, glanced at Pip, and then Estella and Pip both left the room. As Pip left Miss Havisham's house, 2 questions burned in his head. Who was the person who'd given him the money to go to London? And how could he ever change Estella's heart? Pip looked back at the window of the dusty room where he thought he had said farewell to Miss Havisham. What he saw made him turn and run back. He had seen something terrifying. Going to finish there. I know you don't want me to, but when you find it, some of you will know this, some of you are remembering now, something terrifying is happening and he's going to go and sort it out. We'll see that next week. Okay, I did a brand new Who Will Be Triumphant on Monday. I desperately wanted to do a brand new Cheerboo Song or Silence, but you've guessed it, doomed. Here's a nostalgic Cheerboo Song or Silence. It's another belter. Will they get to cheer or will they get to boo? With either one there must not be violence. They may well get a song, but it will not last that long. We really hope they do not get silence. We're going to go straight into cheer, boo, song or silence. One of my favourite games ever. Behind the curtain we have Mrs. Booth, and in a moment she's going to walk out. But is Mrs. Booth going to get a cheer, a boo, a song or silence? We all felt very anxious about Mrs. Clark yesterday. First person to get silence. Anyway, what do you think for Mrs. Booth? Think about it at home, think about it in school, and then we'll bring her out. Love this game. Right, out you come, Mrs. Booth! What a moment for Mrs. Booth. Thanks, Mrs. Booth. See you later. Woo! What a start to assembly. Crikey, we've had loads of fun already and assembly's still not properly started. Will they get to cheer or will they get to boo? With either one there must not be violence. They may well get a song, but it will not last that long. We really hope they do not get silence. I told you it was a good one. It might have been a repeat. It might have been a nostalgic repeat, but it's still a good one, right? Okay, let's finish with shout outs and most important 60 seconds. First of all, no birthdays today. We've got a bit of a break this week for birthdays. We've got some more at the end of the week. Millionaire in year 2. I absolutely love it when we get a millionaire in year 2. It's one of the best feelings. We had a couple already, and now Ben AW is our year 2 millionaire. Well done, Ben. I remember when Ben started on AR over lockdown in year 1, and he has just gone like that. It's brilliant, 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 brilliant. Well done, Ben. Also, Robert in year 6. He, my friends, is a multi-millionaire. He's got 2 lots of $1 million now before the end of year 6. Brilliant work, Rob. I'm hearing stories about more millionaires and multi-millionaires in other year groups. Teachers, adults in classes, if the children are telling you they've got $1 million, please do a check. Get those certificates printed off. We've only got 2 weeks left to get millionaires or do quizzes. We're stopping quizzes on Monday, the 19th of July. I think it's Monday the 19th. It's the last day for quizzing. Good luck. Just before we finish, shout out to Harley in year 3. Now Harley does a martial art. Looks awesome. Here's a picture of him. Yeah, he's just got his orange belt with a distinction, and even better still, he took part in a competition recently, and he beat a 17-year-old to win it. Great work, Harley. Top work. Keep up the good work, my friend. Right, let's put that down there. Let's finish with most important 60 seconds. The most important 60 seconds are coming up now. The most important 60 seconds are coming up now. Okay, important news. You know that in 2 days' time, you're all getting your school reports. That is bits of paper that tell your family and you how well you've done this year. I've read and I'm writing on every single one of them. It's really great to hear good news. On Friday, you'll get your school report and you'll find out which class you're in next year. And then next week, you're all going to go and visit your new classes, spend a bit of time with your new teachers in your new classroom space. It's going to be great. Also, a reminder that the Oakleaf Bookshop is not on this week. It's on next week. Any year 6s that are going to St Peter's on Thursday, you can visit on another day. That's a promise, so please don't worry about that. But Mrs Booth, been back to St Ives Market. We've got loads more fidgets. I mean, we've got some great ones here. I mean, I'm just going to hold them up. I know you're all getting excited in class now. And, oh, look at that, and oh, look at that. Got some of these. I mean, you have to buy a book first. That's a sneaky little way of getting some books sold. But yeah, there's loads of great stuff in here. all these kind of things. One of these that, yeah, all this kind of stuff. It's just brilliant. Anyway, books in the bookshop, brand new ones. You can only buy the extra stuff if you get a book first. This is next week. Next week, not this week. Bring credit in if you got none. See you soon.